Do y'all remember the Doodlebops? One of the few live-action shows airing on Playhouse Disney, the Doodlebops were pretty popular at the time. The show aired 3 seasons before ending its current run. But there's technically another season that some people forget about, one that gets a bit more animated. And now, a condensed history. The Doodlebops were created by Jamie Ways, an executive producer for Disney on shows like Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, Timon and Pumbaa, Recess, and House of Mouse. He was hired by Cookie Jar Entertainment to make a new show. He came up with the idea of a cartoon come to life, cartoon characters living in live action. He ended up siding with a musical theme, creating several characters, each representing a different era. There's Dee Dee, a pink vocalist and keyboardist representing classic doo-wop, Rooney, a blue guitarist and genius inventor representing funk, Mo, the wild child on drums representing hair metal, bus driver Bob, the driver of the Doodle Bus representing psychedelia, and Maz, the musical scat-talking genie and manager of the Doodlebops representing jazz. There's also Mudge, a purple cat living in the vanity mirror of the Doodlebops clubhouse. The goal was to make a show for preschoolers about music, movement, and fun, working with a rough budget of $187,000 per episode. This is the show in a nutshell. Dee Dee and Rooney, played by Lisa Lennox and Chad McNamara, enter the clubhouse making their introductions. Dee Dee's being very triumphant.
I'm Dee Dee Doodle.
And Rooney is not so much. They both look over to Mo to see he's not there, leading us into the Where's Mo segment.
Where's Mo?
Where's Mo? Where's Mo?
Come on, and help us go look for him.
Eventually tracking down Mo, played by Jonathan Wexler, the group can finally finish their introduction. We then cut to the clubhouse cat Mudge, performed by Rob Stefaniak, incorrectly pronouncing the name of the group.
I'm Dee Dee Doodle.
I'm Rooney Doodle.
I'm eating celery. I'm Mo Doodle.
And we're the Doodlebops.
The blanket hops?
No, the Doodlebops.
I was looking forward to the blanket hops. They're delightful.
After all this, they line up to recite the Doodlebop pledge.
We promise to share, we promise to care, all together as a team. Just stick to it, we can do anything. Stand tall, say it loud, we're together and we're proud.
Dee Dee.
Rooney!
Mo!
Yeah! We're the Doodlebops!
Bravo! That was most enjoyable.
Good, the moose is pleased. After all the introductions, they usually end up writing or performing a new song. Around this point, we're introduced to the conflict of the episode. Shortly after, Maz, played by Kim Roberts, comes out of a bookcase in the wall with her theme song, usually to talk the group through their problem.
Didn't!
Maz.
After talking with Maz, the group goes out and plays in the real world, but not before we get our next and most iconic segment.
Hold it!
Don't pull the rope! Don't pull the rope!
Don't pull the rope.
You're never gonna guess what he does.
Refreshing!
After all that, the gang head outside to engage in classic shenanigans until they hear the honk of the Doodle Bus and get in to go to their concert, being played on by my personal favorite song, Get on the Bus.
Let's get on the bus.
Hey, Bob.
Let's get on the bus. Let's get on the bus.
It's time to go.
Let's get on the bus.
Hey, don't you know?
Let's get on the bus.
Go here to there.
Let's get on the bus.
Go everywhere.
On the bus, they usually talk with bus driver Bob, played by John Catucci, about their problem. He helps them work it out a little bit, usually getting into some chaos before pulling up to the show. Once they get backstage, the problem is usually solved by either Maz, Bob, or both. The band then gets on stage and plays a few songs, including a more produced version of a song they play at the beginning of the episode. Afterwards, we see a short joke segment at the end of the show.
Hey, Mudge. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cow say.
Cow say who?
No, cow say moo.
Now that's just silly.
They then end the episode with the goodbye song, an altered version of the theme.
We're the Doodlebops, and we thank you, oh yeah. We've had so much fun with
The first season had its issues, like the quality of the costumes, which definitely left something to be desired. But overall, things worked out pretty well. The success even got them a slot in the Playhouse Disney lineup, providing them with some more funding. The changes to the updated show weren't majorly different, but there were still some pretty relevant changes. For starters, the new costumes were a major improvement, looking a lot cleaner. And now the old opening sweep cam shot is replaced with a 3D render of the clubhouse. We also get a second half to the Doodlebops pledge.
Dee
Rooney! Mo!
We're the Doodlebops!
Whoa, Nelly!
One of the bigger changes was replacing Maz with Jasmine, now played by Jackie Richardson. The character is mostly the same, now just with a different name and actress.
Shabba dabba dee bop, baba doo wop, shabba dabba dee bop, why? Shabba dabba dee bop, ooh baba doo wop, shabba dabba doo boo bang.
Another change is instead of going outside, they now go to their recording and filming studio run by their producer, Audio Murphy, played by Jason Hopley in the second season, most recently known as the co-creator of Nanoland, and played by Frank Meshkalite in the third.
Hey Murph, are you ready to roll?
Well, you know what? I'm always ready to rock and roll with the Doodlebops, baby.
Let's go!
All right. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you want much? You want to press a button?
This space is now used to show the audience dance moves for the song featured in the music video and live segment.
Tick-tock, shake your body, don't stop. All around the world, gonna rock it to the top. Get your soul on, let your body get to growing, and you find yourself dancing with the Doodlebops. Yeah!
The bus eventually shows up to pick up the Doodles, which debuts one of my favorite changes, the updated version of Get on the Bus.
Let's get on the bus.
Time to go!
Let's get on the bus.
Hey, don't you know?
Let's get on the bus.
Go here to there!
Let's get on the bus.
Go everywhere!
Things ended around 2007 with about 3 seasons worth of video content, 2 studio albums, a mockumentary, and several live shows, including
The Doodlebops, we're the Doodlebops, we're the Doodlebops, oh yeah! Come and join the fun, cause we're laughing and we're singing all day! Hey!
that. Also, here's this picture of them with Nardwar. Anyways, after this, the people at CBC communicated a desired shift. Jamie had recently just finished the Beatles film Yellow Submarine and pitched the concept of an animated series. The CBC liked the idea and gave everything the green light. Now, the Doodlebops have had cartoons before, like these coloring book designs. These designs were then updated, colored, and animated for the Flash-based game Doodlebops Clubhouse Adventure game. The game was essentially just fun activities in and around the clubhouse. Obviously, the game had all 3 Doodles, as well as Jasmine, Bob, Murph, and Mr. Moose. For some reason, there's no Mudge, despite the fact that this is a clubhouse game and he is the cat of the clubhouse. Apparently, Mr. Moose has a higher billing. There were also cartoons for the games on the Doodlebops website. These were just simplified versions of the other designs with less line art. Jamie was never truly satisfied with these cartoon designs. He felt the faces weren't very expressive and the bodies were very bottom heavy. So he decided he wanted a redesign done for the animated series. He ended up choosing an up-and-coming design studio called Guru, who are now responsible for shows like Paw Patrol, Just in Time, and the newer show Sesame Street Mecha Builders. One of the first things they cooked up was this color print design, but Jamie decided against it since he felt the chibi-like proportions would be harder to animate, and eventually landed on this rough design. The designs for the doodles were cleaned up, adding some harder line art and simplifying some of the abstract shapes. And all those tweaks are what eventually became the Doodlebops Rockin' Road Show. The basic concept is that the Doodlebops live in what they called the DoodleNet, or the cartoon world. In every episode, a kid from somewhere around the world would send a video message to the Doodlebops about a problem that they're having. The Doodlebops then initiate the protocol Doodle for a Day, where they bring the kid into the DoodleNet to help them. At the same time they're trying to help the kid, one of the Doodles is also struggling with something similar, and as the group help the kid solve their problem, solve the internal problem as well. Now this is as good a time to bring this up as any. Now, nostalgia-based commentary channels are a very specific category, but one that I tend to watch a lot is Athena P. Athena basically makes videos about the history of old, lesser-known kids shows. And while I was writing this video, she released her own Doodlebops video and said this.
A comment on the Doodlebops wiki theorizes that this is an in-universe cartoon, which would make sense because in the show this band is so famous that where they're from, presumably Canada, is so used to them going on national tours that maybe while they're going on their world tour, they release this cartoon to hold over their fans while they're gone.
Now this is an interesting theory, but I had something else in mind. Okay, stay with me now. Now as we know, the Doodlebops are cartoon characters that live in the real world. And the last episode ends with them preparing to go on a world tour. But if the Doodlebops are already cartoons, what if the DoodleNet is just where they're from? What if the Doodlebops live in the DoodleNet, which is connected to the real world, Space Jam style, and their world tour ends with them doing the last leg in the DoodleNet, or their world, which would explain why everyone in the DoodleNet is all these random colors and shapes. Meaning that Rockin' Roadshow is not a TV show made for the fans, but rather an expansion of the Doodleverse. But hey, that's just a theory. They wrote a new theme song for the show, and it fits right in with the Doodlebops discography.
Send a message to the Doodlebops.
Rockin' Roadshow! All together we're the Doodlebops.
Dee Dee!
Rooney!
Where's Mo?
I also found this demo version of the theme and title sequence in my research.
Wanna sing about the Doodlebops, Rockin' Roadshow.
All together we're the Doodlebops.
Dee Dee!
Rooney! Mo!
Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes. The episodes were 11 minutes each, which were put into pairs to make 22. The first half of the first episode is called Splish Splash Fun. Bus driver Bob is taking the Doodle Bus through the car wash, and in case that weren't clear, Mo provides an assist.
We're going to the car wash. Yeah! So splish, splash, splish, splash, splashy and wet.
This is where we meet Bop Bop, Dee Dee's dog, the band's unofficial mascot. Bop Bop sits next to an open window, gets soaked, and then has to shake dry. This makes Rooney a bit uncomfortable, saying he doesn't like getting wet. The bus finishes going through the car wash, where we meet our next new character,
Mail snail! Mail snail!
Seen in the opening, Mail Snail, a play on snail mail, is a robot delivery snail, played by Corey Doran, who brings the Doodles their mail, specifically all the Doodle for a Day submissions. The Doodles thank Mail Snail and go inside to see who he brought them.
Gotta slide. Catch you on the flip side.
Bye, Mail Snail. And thanks!
They cue up the video to meet Lucy, who doesn't like taking baths or getting wet, which Rooney can relate to. The Doodles decide to doodlefy Lucy, meaning making her a doodle for a day. We then start the Doodle for a Day theme, which is a remixed version of Get on the Bus. During this segment, the Doodle Bus sends out a signal to bring Lucy in the DoodleNet and onto the Doodle Bus. Dee Dee and Mo try to convince Lucy that water is fun, moving us into our first original song other than the theme, Splish Splash Fun.
Splish Splash Fun! In the water! Woo! Splish Splash Fun!
Makes you feel so good.
So cool!
Lucy and Rooney aren't fully sold, but it just so happens that Bob has pulled the Doodle Bus up to the soaked and silly water park, the wettest water park in the DoodleNet. Lucy seems intrigued by the water park, but Rooney seems to still be set in his ways. Mo brings up some drinks for the group, but accidentally spills them on Rooney's pants. Rooney then tells Mo to apologize to his pants. He does, at which point the pants become sentient? That can't be right.
Sorry, pants.
Apology accepted.
Okay. Lucy then proposes that her and Rooney agree to go into the water at least once. After a bit of back and forth, they eventually get in, and we see the return of a beloved trope.
It couldn't get any better. Wait, it just did. Look, a rope.
Don't pull the rope, Mo! Don't pull the rope!
But ropes are made for pulling. Don't pull the rope.
Don't pull the rope there, Mo!
Don't pull the rope!
You're never gonna get.
I can't help myself. Oh, hey.
Lucy, seeing everyone having fun, starts feeling better about the water, and eventually so does Rooney, leading to the reprise of Splish Splash Fun. We then cut to later that night where Rooney goes to take a bath, now loving the water. Male Snail makes a return with a message from Lucy talking about how she's now more comfortable in the water. As all the Doodles try to get to the bathroom, they notice Bob is missing, realizing that he's beat them all to the bath. We then cut to an interstitial where Mo is standing on the stage with the iconic rope. He pulls it and magically becomes a chicken. The rope pulling gag is seen in several, but not all episodes. However, interstitials like this only happen one other time.
Oh look, a rope!
Don't pull the rope!
But ropes are made for pulling. Huh, that's never happened before.
Neither has this.
In episode 1.2, Messy-Potamia, the Doodles are looking for some of their stuff on the bus, but can't find it on account of all the mess. It's Mo's turn to clean up, but he insists it's pointless since the bus will just get messy anyways. Male Snail drops by with a message from Jamie, who also doesn't like cleaning his room. After doodlefying him, the others try to show Mo and Jamie the importance of cleaning up with the song A Place for Everything.
A place for everything, and everything in its place.
A place for everything, and everything in its place.
Mo then proposes the idea of the other Doodles being messy for a change, and if it's really that bad, him and Jamie will clean the entire Doodle bus. Bob then decides to take everyone to Messy-Potamia, the messiest place in the Doodle net. The other Doodles dirty themselves up to blend in, but then Rooney says this.
No one can say we look out of place now, can they, Bop Bop?
Do the Doodlebops face racial bias? Nope, not opening that up, I'm good. After a series of messes, the Doodles decide to have lunch, but the people of Messy-Potamia have made a mess all over their table. Jamie tries to get the food back.
Hey, that's f***ing gross!
But the trash avalanche falls on the bus. They try to get rid of the trash, but none of the Messy-Potamians will help. But then Jamie has the idea to make a game out of it. He tells the Messy-Potamians that the goal is to pick as much trash up as possible. It works, and the entire town, including the bus, is clean. And after realizing that messy isn't always best, Mo now realizes he has to clean up the entire Doodle bus. But now enjoys cleaning so much that he starts making new messes just so he can clean them up.
No, Mo! Don't pull the rope!
Don't pull the rope!
The episode ends with a new, more musical version of the Doodlebop pledge.
We promise to share, we promise to care, all together as a team. Just stick to it, we can do anything. Stand tall, say it loud, we're together and we're proud.
Jeannie!
Rooney! Mo!
Yeah! We're the Doodlebops!
Now there's something you may have noticed about the consistency of these episodes. Let's take a look at the intro.
Come on, Mo!
We gotta go!
It's time for the show!
And you know,
Alright, now let's look at a song segment.
let's get on the bus.
It's time to go!
Let's get on the bus.
Hey, don't you know?
Let's get on the bus.
Go here to there!
Let's get on the bus.
Go everywhere!
Looks good. Now let's look at some dialogue from the episode.
Oh, Bop Bop, you're all wet!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't you think it's getting a little too wet in here?
There it is. If you couldn't tell already, some parts of the episode aren't as polished and refined as others. There's two likely reasons for this. One, the animation was outsourced somewhere else, which is why the styles are very different, something very common in the animation industry. Or two, some parts of the animation were prioritized at the top, and the others at the bottom are less polished because of it, possibly due to budget restraints. Overall, yeah, it's a bit rough, but I still think it's a fun cartoon. But that seems to be where the book closes on Rockin' Roadshow. Tune in next time for more stuff people don't care about.